Não, it's not. Sejam todos bem-vindos a mais uma aula de conteúdo aqui pelo VPFI Forever, galera. Deixa eu fazer agora oficialmente, peraí. Boa noite, mãe. Yeah, it must be the recording thing. Guys, take a look. Today, we're here together in a new Wednesday. This is the number 70. 70 times we've been here together, speaking English, practicing, talking, and doing what we like to do, that it's laugh, you know? So today, I didn't plan like, wow, let's make this or let's make that, but baby brought me an idea, an awesome idea, by the way. In the middle of the weekend, he said, "Hey, dude, why don't we ask Clinton, Emily about their weather, or better, their bad weather experiences? Because here in Brazil, sometimes we have rain.
A lot.
Okay, but do we have a hurricane in Brazil?
No, I don't think so.
Do we have let me see, an earthquake? Earthquake, like earthquake. Do we have an earthquake in Brazil, Isaac?
It makes sense too.
Yeah.
Shake.
Yeah.
I've never seen it before.
Yeah, it's good. It's something good, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Clinton, Emily, they are going to share with us according to our questions, and of course we are going to share our experiences too, you know. So first things first, I'd like to start the class today telling you guys that I am crazy about rain. Crazy, especially the ones that comes with lightnings and thunders, you know. Once when I was a kid, it was a long time ago, there was a rain in Guariba City. You know?
What a strange rain.
Yeah.
There are horses passing by during this rain.
It wasn't no.
Thank God.
Okay, guys, maybe the horse passed there. I'm not sure, but the rain was pouring. When the rain is so strong, we tend to say that's pouring rain, right? Is
That
it?
was
Pouring.
Pouring rain, yeah. And then the lightnings on and on and on, and here it came a thunder, like boom, you know?
And it slowly petered out, just like that.
it was crazy. I was like 6 or 7 years old, and guys, I woke up so I was going to say that I woke up so ugly, but it wasn't just
It's normal, yeah.
But
You
that
woke
happens
up
all the
like
time. That happens all the time.
Every morning.
I woke up so afraid, you know.
And ugly.
And ugly, okay. By the sound of the thunder, that my eyes got one eye looking here and another eye looking there. Yeah. No, man, I'm not joking. No, I'm not, bro. I already shared this story with you. Never with you?
Pixar, it didn't happen.
No, guys. Like
That's why he got ugly.
no.
Yeah.
Okay, I know how to take a look. I was like this, but yeah, you know, but the other side around. And guys,
Tried taking a
my mom-
screenshot of that.
Screenshot, don't take it. Come on, we have the recording here.
Set that as my home screen.
No way. The trouble was after this noisy, this loud sound, I got what's the name? Cross-eyed? Is it the right term to say that your eyes get
Cross-eyed.
cross-eyed? I got cross-eyed, and my mom took me to the doctor in the next day, and the doctor told I needed a
It's very common with.
I don't mean to laugh, but oh my God.
Dude, I'm not mocking. I can bring my mom and my dad here to show this story with you, but they are gonna share it in Portuguese.
Why
Oh
did
my God.
Oh, I don't know. We never talked about, but I
Yeah.
was 6 years old, and it was the only surgery that no, the I only had the two surgeries. One was this one, and my eyes got crazy, like each one looking at its side. And the doctor said that, do you know the expression like morrer de medo? Ai, tô morrendo de medo. This is so true. Somebody proved scientifically can die because they are afraid of something, you know? And I got the nearest level of it happening because of I woke up so afraid with the loud noise, the loud sound, that my eyes got crazy, and they needed a surgery to make it back again, it normal again.
To make you
To make me
less ugly.
less ugly, to make my oh, the guys are on fire
Like
here
it.
today, you know?
mothers do go to the doctor and say, "Oh, my kid is so ugly. How is
Yeah.
that possible?"
Let's try to fix the eye. It's the only thing we can do, yeah.
Você ficou com olhos atraentes,
Oh yeah, you
um atrai o
know.
outro, um atraindo o outro.
For sure, it was like that, Isaac. It was like that. And then after that, I was about to say, oh, I am so afraid of rain, heavy rain, lightnings and thunders. But contrary happened. I got fascinated. Whenever I see lightnings, whenever I listen to thunders, I get like, oh, I like to see them, to observe them, you know?
This nearly killed me. Let's do it again.
No, it's not the case, man. It's not the case. You're gonna kill this guy here. Stop doing that, okay?
Every time
Send
we
him
have
to
a
the
heavy
ceiling.
rain, you do get very, very ugly, man. Very, very.
Oh my lord. Okay. I shared my humble experience with you guys, and now you guys are mocking me. Clinton,
Yeah,
this
I've just spend like the next hour shitting on Eduardo. That's
with
just
my
what it'll be.
side here, no way, guys. I opened my heart for you guys, and you do this, yeah? Okay.
I would like to make an interview with this doctor. Like you
Yeah.
you are there working, and somebody appears with a kid, cross-eyed, like, hey,
a cross-eyed kid because of the rain.
my kid is ugly. How can I
Yeah.
deal with it?
No.
Can I give it away? Yeah.
It wasn't like
But I have a serious question because, like, what was the medical reason for doing a surgery, for performing a surgery on your eyes? Like, was it a spasm, or I mean, what happened that your eyes stuck that way?
I don't know exactly what happened, but like the surgery happened so fast, like 2 or 3 days after.
It was so easy.
Oh my gosh.
Is that how they do surgery in Guariba?
Yeah, it's probably.
Yeah. And it's perfect. Look at his eyes.
It happened, okay. Oh,
Now
Lord.
the eyes are right, but the mind not so much.
It will never be back again.
It's okay, but
No, of course, guys, I was a kid, so I
I'm
didn't
here.
have
I'm
that.
here. I'm here.
What?
Okay,
Isaac.
Isaac got started.
Emily, I don't have this much of detail because I really don't remember. I asked already my mom about it, but she doesn't remember because it was like 22, 21 years ago. So it's been a while, you know?
And she was cross-eyed too.
No, she wasn't. She
Well,
was, she was all right.
All
But
the family cross-eyed.
no, she got afraid. She got afraid because she thought that my eyes wouldn't get normal again, you know?
Yeah. And it was like that for days, like
No,
2 or
as I
4.
said, like it happened the next day. My mom took me to the doctor, and after 2 or 3 days, I was already operated, you know. And I remember going to Prezinho with one of my eyes closed, and the doctor changed the tampon. No, wait, tampon is something that. No, wait.
Well, this evolved.
Just what did you
into
get
a whole
operated?
different
Like-
story.
Here we have Guariba doctors.
No, guys.
Remind me never to go to Guariba for any medical procedure.
Now I need to have an interview with this doctor.
I I was going to say tampão, not tampon. Okay, I know that tampon is something that probably girls wear, right? Use it. Do we have rain? Guys, I must go. The rain started, okay?
Guys, I must go. The rain started.
Maybe we can see a live demonstration of this story.
For sure. Stop laughing, please. Oh my God, dude. Can you please?
That's why we know when it's going to rain.
You study English a lot, not to say problem. Guys.
Oh my gosh. My belly is hurting. Stop
And
it.
it's water. I'm so
Oh
sorry.
crap. Oh, okay. Oh, stop it. Just get back when you grow up, okay? Okay.
Never.
Well, yeah, baby will never grow up, you know. So the doctor changed the thing that he put in my eye for me to, you know. Every week
Now we
I
have
need to
the
change it. It changed it, you know. So, oh crap, guys! It was supposed to be a sad experience, something that I experienced that was not
Emily's
okay.
kind of crying.
Yeah.
Sad for you,
Yeah,
but
I'm
we all got
crying
it.
here. Does that make you feel better?
Oh my lord. Okay, well, never had an experience with strong rains or stuff like that. Okay, how about let me ask Isaac, and I am going to leave Emily and Clinton to the end because probably you guys have the craziest stories. Well, not crazier than mine, yeah, of course. But maybe the most dangerous situation, you know, probably they are gonna.
Yeah, without tempo.
So Isaac,
Let's see.
is your internet good back again?
You don't know. I don't know. I hope so. I hope so.
Okay.
Well, I have never experienced like a situation like yours, you know, a catastrophe.
Thank God, right?
Although here in my state we have some place that when it rains very hard, you know, this place always flood a lot, you know. It's so common here, and like people lose everything. And something that it's funny because people always say that they had nothing. People always said that they had nothing, they have nothing, but when it rains they lose everything, you know. It's something funny.
Okay. This is so
But,
bad. You are guaranteeing your place on hell. Okay, in hell. Be careful.
but isn't it funny? Isn't it
Yeah,
funny?
like, oh, I don't have anything. Yeah. Isaac. Okay, he can enter. After this one, he can enter. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but here is just about the rain. Sometimes the rain is very hard, you know. Sometimes like it rains like cats and dogs, and it's something, and things really bad happen because of it.
So it's more in Espírito Santo where you live. It's more the rains, like here in our city, right?
Yeah, something like that.
The trouble is the volcano. I don't know.
Do you guys have volcanoes there? Oh, of course you don't. Come on. Oh, come on. The Holy Spirit has no volcanoes.
Oh, has no. We have.
In Monte Alto, people said that we had some volcanoes.
What?
In volcanoes?
What the fuck is that?
In Monte Alto?
Yeah.
I feel like we would have heard about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I
only know.
We don't have it.
I
We
only know
don't?
avocado.
Volcano.
No, it's volcano. Volcano.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, it's not a
We have
volcano.
a volcano.
Yes, yes, I was saying avocado.
Yeah,
Like,
volcano.
I'm not sure if we have volcanoes here in Brazil.
I
We
don't
don't
I
have
think
it.
so.
Oh,
We don't have it.
They
don't
had
think
they
so.
had dinosaurs there. Why not volcanoes? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, maybe like really old ones that have gone inactive and collapsed, but there's definitely no active ones.
Yeah, no,
as
active
far as I
ones.
know.
No. Yeah, people, I don't remember exactly who told me that or if I dreamed about that too, but it's not something that you guys should trust, But I remember somebody saying something like, oh, we have volcanoes in Monte Alto. And it's kind of a neighbor city here from us, like 30, 40 minutes. Yeah. So it's something cool. Yeah.
And now I'm gonna have to check this.
Okay.
I'm
If you
curious.
find a volcano there, take a shot and send it to us. All right.
I definitely will, because I have been to Monte Alto several times and I've never seen a volcano, but I've never looked. So
See, it's because you are not looking for them.
Maybe it became a mountain.
As soon as you get there, you arrive downtown and say, hey, there it is,
there it is.
Yeah,
How come I've
yeah.
never seen this before.
It's a possibility. Wow. Emily, you lived in Colorado, right?
No, I've never lived in Colorado. I'm from Michigan.
What? I tell everybody that you're from Colorado. My
The
gosh.
the guy knows everything. Yeah.
He did. He told me that today.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
I tell everybody that you are from Colorado, and I don't know why I
Was
fixed this information then.
Wasn't it a dream?
Probably, I don't know.
Because of the eyes.
No, it's not.
Because of
One eye in Colorado, another eye in Michigan. Yeah, like, okay, it's not so.
I've been to Colorado, but no, I've never lived there. The only states I've lived in are Michigan, where I'm from, and South Carolina.
Okay. So, like, in the places that you lived in the USA, did you experience something really bad? I mean, really terrifying that you felt so afraid?
Yeah, several actually. We have quite a few tornadoes in Michigan, but worse than that are the winters, like winter storms. So we drive with a lot of ice and what we call whiteouts. It's where it snows so hard that you can't see anything. So when you're driving, that's pretty terrifying.
Please don't laugh, I don't know.
Pretty terrifying.
It's like Isaac, everybody loses everything. Yeah. What's Cleveland? Why are you laughing?
We've got a lot of sadism floating around here today.
Well, it was just the pure understatement. It's like, yeah, you can't see anything. It's just a little bit terrifying, I guess. I don't know. The delivery was gold.
Wow.
It's kind of something that you get used to. It's like, in Florida, you probably get used to strong summer storms.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, it's something I can't imagine getting used to, but for us in Michigan, like winter is something. I'll tell you a couple of funny stories, okay? Funny and some serious, but the first one.
For today, it's okay.
Choose which ones you guys are going to laugh. Okay.
Yeah. So the funniest one is that I remember is when we were a kid. When we were kids, we had these really big dogs. They're called giant schnauzers, and they're like these big, hairy black dogs. They weigh about 120 pounds. They're quite large.
In kilos, do you know how to convert that for us to have an idea?
Probably like 50 kilos.
For a dog, for a monster, right? Okay.
They're big dogs.
All right.
But we had 2 of them, and it snowed so much one year that we couldn't open the door to go outside to let the dogs go out in the yard and go to the bathroom. So we ended up pushing them out the windows. So they could go, and then my dad had to crawl out the window behind them and then shovel a path of snow, like a path through the snow, so that we could open the door. That was pretty funny. We get a lot of snow up there.
Not for your dad, right? Not for your dad.
No, he was pissed, but it was pretty funny for us because we got to stay inside.
Terrible.
Wow.
A lot of snow.
So we get a lot of snow up where my parents live. And because they live really close to one of the Great Lakes, Lake Michigan, they get a lot of what's called lake effect weather. So it will either snow a lot or snow less. Just depends on like the buffering system of the lake. And so sometimes where they live just gets completely dumped on, and we would get a lot of snow. And so my dad sometimes couldn't go to work for several days because there was too much snow, like on the streets. You know, it wasn't just in our driveway or something. There would be a lot of snow on the streets. Let's see. So that was extreme weather that we faced pretty much every winter. And then we also have tornadoes there in the summer, but they're not like as big as you see on TV, like out in the plains, like Kansas and Nebraska and stuff. You see really big tornadoes there, but in Michigan, they're not usually that big. But
just to clarify a thing, like a
Yeah.
tornado is how do I say, mais leve, intensity. It has less intensity than a hurricane, right? Hurricanes are stronger and stuff, or no?
I mean, I don't know. What would you say, Clinton? I think that they're pretty equal in strength. Like if you have a really
Yeah.
big tornado, it can do a hell of a lot of damage. Really.
Yeah, I think the thing is like a tornado is just a lot more concentrated. Like if a tornado goes over your house, then you're probably screwed. If a hurricane passes through, then it's kind of a toss-up. You don't know.
Kind of a what?
Toss-up, like it could be or it could not.
Okay, there's a chance of your house still be there after it passes, right?
Yeah.
And if a concentrated tornado go there, probably your house won't be there anymore.
Yeah. It's
Probably.
either that or at the bare minimum, the roof will be gone or you'll have a tree fall on it or something bad is going to happen.
Most likely.
Yeah, okay. In my mind, I imagine that tornadoes were okay, and hurricanes were, oh my gosh, we're gonna lose our lives, you know? But I think it's not like that then.
I mean,
Well-
neither of them are fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend either one. I've never lived through a hurricane, but my brother has, and they don't sound that.
And you guys in the US, you have specific places in the house to go under the ground when they happen, right?
Basement.
Yeah, but
Well,
I mean,
for a tornado, yes, but for a hurricane, I don't think it's recommended to go in the basement because of the flooding, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right. The tornado comes with rain.
Sometimes the hurricane comes with rain. The tornado
rain.
usually is just wind.
Okay, all right. Yeah, imagine you go down to refugee yourself and then you just drown. Yeah.
Then you just drown.
As Clinton said, blue, blue, blue. Yeah, it's a good explanation, I guess. It's like you explaining the Russia and Ukraine. Something like that, yeah. Okay, let's not talk about that.
Yeah, please,
Let's
guys.
not, okay.
That's a class for another day.
For sure.
You guys don't have a lot of floods in the US, you have?
Yeah, it depends on the area. Like in Michigan, we had really bad floods a few years ago. My friend worked at a coffee shop, and she posted pictures of like from inside the coffee shop. You could see fish swimming past the window because the water level was so high.
Holy fish!
Yeah,
Yeah.
fish.
Here in Brazil is so common. It's so common. Basically every year something bad happens. Like recently we had in Minas Gerais, Bahia,
Rio de Janeiro.
Petrópolis, aqui no Espírito Santo. Like it's something really common.
And it happens yearly, and people,
Yeah.
they don't do anything to change this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad. And talking about that, Anderson is, I don't know, Anderson was with us last week, right? Anderson was here last week, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was.
Okay.
He was.
Yeah. No, I was going to mention that because after the thing that happened in Rio de Janeiro, I didn't see him back. So I was going to ask, but I remember that he was here last class.
Yeah.
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 Yes, sir.
And then, Clinton, would you like to share one experience with us too? And after Emily share another one, and then Clinton another one, and then I share the day when my eyes got normal again. Okay.
Well, I mean, hurricanes are, as we have discussed and agreed upon, they're not fun. So picture it. Pensacola, 2004. Hurricane Ivan came through, and that was really bad because it was, at one point, it was all the way up to a category 5, which is to say the strongest that it can be. And supposedly before it made landfall, it weakened to 3, so like still really strong. But anyway, the point is, we did not leave for Ivan because my parents, they live north of Pensacola, probably about, I don't know, let me try to convert this. I don't know, like a couple 100 kilometers from the ocean. So we've never evacuated for a hurricane. We were in our house, and then the cats. Our cats were outside cats, but we all knew that something wasn't right because they knew better than to go in the house, and the 2 cats were trying their best to come inside. And so, well, we moved into the hallway, and at one point, I mean, the power's gone, of course it was. And at one point, water starts coming down the walls just because it's blown in because the winds are so strong. And we had a roof made out of tin. You know what tin is? It's metal.
Okay.
Yeah, and so like you could hear it kind of rattling with some of the wind. We had also, I need to make this point because this will be important later. We had filled up the bathtubs with water just in case, the water went out, we would have something to drink and do things with because we were smart. But anyway, at a certain point, like I had been given the task to kind of like wipe the water, keep it off the walls. And the rattling, it just grew extremely intense, and it sounded like a freight train full of bees was going over the house. And only thought we had as well, this must be a tornado because hurricanes do that. They spawn tornadoes all the time. So my mother basically throws me and my 2 sisters into the bathroom. So the hallway was here, there was a bathroom there. And I don't know where my father got it, but in the span of like 3 seconds, he threw a mattress from somewhere over top all 4 of us. But I think he just conjured it out of the ether and threw it on us. So yeah, we were in the bathtub with the mattress over us for until it calmed down. And after that, it just got really calm. And we went back out into the hallway, and my dad had a flashlight, and he was kind of looking around, and he shined it up on, with the way the house was set up from the hallway. If you look, you could look to the right and you could see into the living room, and if you look at the left, then you can see into the kitchen. So it would shine into, the ceilings had fallen at this point, and you could show them the flashlight, and you could see like the little circle from the light up in where it was hitting the bottom of the roof. And on the left side, there was no little circle of light. And it took him about a minute to realize that that was because he was looking at the night sky.
There was no roof at all.
Not on the south side of the house, no.
Holy.
Gone.
This was a tornado, not a hurricane.
It was both because there was a tornado that had been spawned from a hurricane.
Okay. Wow.
So yeah, so we still had about 7 or 8 more hours of hurricane to go, but
7 hours, like It was nighttime.
Yeah, it came in overnight, and then even the next morning, the wind was still pretty strong. I mean, it wasn't as bad, but it was still strong. But the funniest part about it is, right after all of that happened and we had come back out, the phone rang.
Rain?
Yeah, the phone.
You guys still had the phone lines were still up?
The phone
Oh.
lines were still working. That was the only thing that was still working were the phone lines.
Who was?
Okay,
Okay,
like to buy a roof.
Yeah, come on.
No,
you
it
guys are
was my
fast.
dad's cousin, and she was like, "Is it bad over there?" And
I guess it's all
I can't
right.
talk right now. It's bad, but I'll call you later.
Dear Lord, man.
And what about your cats? Were they okay?
Yeah, they were fine. My sister had also brought her cat from where she was living at the time, and we almost didn't find that cat. That cat disappeared, and we almost didn't find it. It had gone into one of the other bedrooms and hid under the bed.
Oh, God.
So yeah, that was terrifying, and I would not want to repeat that again.
No, I think it's not cool to repeat this situation. I didn't understand exactly why your dad threw the mattress over you guys to try to protect or something like
Yeah,
that.
so if something collapses from above, then it'll hit that instead of, our heads.
Okay. Well,
Remember how I told you that the bathtub's full of water?
yeah.
We didn't get wet.
Ah,
So think about it. What do you think happened?
How so?
what? You were inside the bathtub or over the bathtub?
We were in it
Ah, how didn't you get wet?
because the tornado sucked all the water out before we could get in it.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
I
gosh.
mean, sucked all the water?
Yeah, and out of the toilets too.
It broke the pipes?
No, it just the water that was on the surface, it pulled it out.
Holy crap.
Oh, dude. Man, it must be really, really terrifying. I mean, my dad is really, really afraid of heavy rains, when it starts raining heavily, especially with the winds, strong winds. My dad poops his pants, I mean, man, if there, do you remember 2 or 3, maybe 4 weeks ago when there was that strong rains
yeah.
here? Yeah, man, my dad called me. Are you at school? Are you at school? Close everything, go to your house, do something, just don't stay there, I said, Dad, come on, Danilo is coming here. Danilo is coming here. No, tell him not to come,
Do not cross your eyes.
Yeah. Oh my God. The guys blocked the first story. Man. Holy fuck. I am going to bring my parents here next week, and they are going to share with you the story in Portuguese for you guys to see, okay? I'm going to prepare them to do this. And because
As long as you're ready for round 2 of getting roasted by everyone, that's perfect.
I know, you should probably warn your parents too, like, hey, just so you know, everyone's gonna laugh a lot.
yeah, come ready because everybody's going to mock you back because you had an ugly son and his eyes were kind of crossed, yeah. Something.
Oh, but the
I
kind
have
of.
a question, like, as you guys have this kind of disaster, do you receive someone teaching you how to proceed in this kind of situation at school or on TV, something like that?
Yeah, we had training at school, did you?
Yeah, we did. We got all kinds of hurricane, lessons and such.
Oh.
We only had tornado drills at school. We never had, obviously, hurricane drills because we don't have hurricanes in Michigan.
Mhm. And
So-
they start happening while you were kids? I mean, young kids?
What do you mean?
Kindergarten, I think,
Yeah,
the drills.
yeah, we had to do tornado drills.
This is an interesting thing that I would like to ask you guys about the school in the US, because people tend to think here in Brazil that when you guys go to the university, like you guys don't take a special test to get inside the university you guys want to study. You just need to show your grades and prove that you were a great kid, got great, amazing, excellent grades, and then you can go on the university you want. How does that really work there?
Depends on the university.
Mhm.
Yeah, it varies a lot from one to another.
Yeah, at the different levels. I mean, if you go to a state college or something, then probably it's a little less rigorous, but everybody takes the standardized achievement tests at the end of high school, and they use those scores a lot to accept students into university. They're called the SATs or the ACTs.
SAT, I already saw this acronym SAT. What does it mean?
Standardized achievement test.
Okay, all right, SAT. I already saw this in a preparation test or something like that, you know? And I
And
mean,
then you also have like your grades from school, and then extracurricular activities like volunteer stuff, and then you have to write letters of intent, like your application letters, and then you have to sometimes get letters of support and recommendation from professors or places that you did volunteer work.
yeah, I asked you exactly because we are in Brazil, and here we have the vestibular. I don't know if you guys know what it's a vestibular. Do you, Clinton?
Maybe if you explain it.
I
don't know.
mean, it's a test that if you take a good grade, you are going to be accepted in a specific university. You can ingress on
It's
that.
the SATs here.
Yeah, it's that same kind of concept.
Yeah, I believe here in Brazil, we have some other ways to get inside the university, but the most used one is ENEM, yeah?
Yeah,
Like
it depends on the university too, but then
Yeah.
it's kind of,
like an open door
Yeah.
to all of them, right?
yeah, like you can go to a university and take that test, or
Uh-huh.
you do an A and then it's going to find a
University
university,
too.
yeah, around Brazil for you to go.
No, and Emily mentioned the state college. Is this really different from a university like Oxford, like Stanford, Cambridge, those big ones?
Well, by state college, I kind of mean like community colleges, which are 2-year degrees, so they're not universities.
I remember when I was watching Big Bang Theory, the guys, the geeky ones, they tend to mock Penny because she went to community college and said, "Oh, she just went to community college. Come on, don't take her seriously, you know?"
Yeah.
It was like they underestimated her just because of that, you know? And the guys
There's
went to-
actually there's a show on Netflix called Community. It's about community college. It's so funny.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I did community college for 2 years before I went to university. And then, so I was in this really cool program that allowed me to transfer my credits. So I did it during high school. And then the credits that I took, like the courses that I took, counted towards high school and towards college. So then when I started college, I already had a lot of credits, like college classes that I could use. And in theory, it's supposed to shorten the amount of time that you're at university because it's very expensive.
I see it. Wow.
So is it possible to enter in a community college during the high school? That's what I
Yes.
understood.
Yeah, so some community colleges have a program called Bridge to College, and that's what I did. So you start when you're 16 and you start taking courses, and then by the time you graduate high school, you have enough for like 1 or 2 years of college, and that way you don't need to take a lot of basic level courses at the university.
And
nice
Emily, it's just about the score or not? Because it costs a lot. Because I mean, and parents save money for their children since they are very young.
if that's your intention to send your child to college,
You
yes.
have to pay. You have to pay for the course at this college. You have to pay for the statement, something like that.
Yeah, you have to pay for a lot of stuff. Like most of the people that I went to university with, when they graduated, they had about $100,000 in debt. It's like 25. Well, okay. So where I went is about $25,000 a year.
Oh,
I
it's a
see.
lot of
That's
money.
why parents start saving money like early.
No.
Yeah, because if your parents
Over.
don't help you, then you take out student loans, which the interest rate on those are very high. You can get scholarships from certain places, or like I did all of the above. So I had a scholarship and I took out student loans and I worked. But it's, most people just end up with a lot of that. Like my sister is 40 years old and she's still paying her college.
40 years old.
Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. It's like the dream of having their own house, right? I mean, it's so expensive to do that right there. Like you guys have what's the name of that in English? Do you know how to say hipoteca in English?
Oh.
I don't remember.
it's-
Does anybody here know how to say hipoteca?
It's not kind of equal.
I don't think so. Do you know, Clinton, what I'm talking about, or Emily?
It's leasing.
I don't think so.
No, it's not leasing.
Lizzie is the name of the
Yeah,
insurance that we have here.
I'm not sure, but I guess it's mortgage.
Mortgage. Yeah, yeah, it's
Mortgage.
this one. It's this one. Well, I never understood how that really works. I mean, people pays that continuously after they have their houses. How does that? Do you, for example, Clinton, you live on your own with Darwin, don't you?
Right. And so, yeah, when I bought my house, basically what you're doing is you're taking a loan from a bank in order to pay the house because, you don't typically have $100,000 just in your pocket.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, you have to pay a little bit up front, but then the bank basically pays for the house and then you're paying the bank back for, where they borrowed you, where they lent you the money.
I forgot the name. In
Financiamento.
Portuguese,
In Portuguese, in Brazil, in fact, we have this, but the name is really less terrifying. Financiamento.
Yeah, it's just a special type of financing because it's the same concept, just different.
I always listen to a mortgage. What's the correct pronunciation of that?
Mortgage.
Mortgage. I always listen to this word mortgage and I imagine, oh, the guy
Never
will
saw
spend the whole life paying.
Yeah,
And
like
we
us.
did it. Yeah, but I mean, it sounded way worse for me when somebody tried to explain it in English for me, Yeah.
Just
and
30 years, half your life.
30 years, yeah.
Just
I'm paying my
half the
house.
time,
I'm
yeah.
paying my house like that for 30 years. Paying so expensive. Yeah. But the thing is, whenever I heard the word mortgage, it came to me as a asilo, a place, what's the name? Haunted place, I don't know why.
I think it's because of the sound. Yeah.
Mortgage. It sounds like a
But-
necrotério.
Yeah, mortgage, it's also the criteria, right?
Is it?
No, you're thinking of mortuary.
Oh, it's kind of
Mortuary.
mortuary is the name of that.
Yeah, mortuary.
Mortgage?
Mortuary.
Mortuary? Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it's not so weak.
No. I just don't know. It just popped
And
in
it's
my
got
mind.
mort in it, which is death. So
Yeah.
Mort?
mort.
What's more?
Mort,
Mort.
like death.
Yeah, it's a
Ah,
synonym.
But do you guys have this in the English language?
No, he's just saying that he understands why you have the confusion because it has the same.
Oh,
It
okay.
looks like the same root.
Yeah, it's because you pronounce the mort, and then people would say marchi. Yeah, I don't know. It's at least I pronounce like that. Foi uma morte morrida, like something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, guys, We have still 5 minutes. We are coming to an end, but I want to challenge you guys to bring something for us to talk about the next class. Can be everything and anything you guys want to talk about. I mean, the idea of bringing this bad weather experience was cool. I like it. I don't know if you guys did, but we can keep these classes talking about anything. We are kind of show Brazilian culture, American culture. It's gonna be cool, don't you guys think that?
Yeah, I have an idea actually, because it's a question that I've had in my mind, and that's about public transportation in Brazil.
Oh,
And the difference between public transportation here and there in the States.
oh, it's
'Cause I don't know much about public transportation here in Brazil.
okay. We're gonna teach you about that. Just in a nutshell, it's a shit. Like, okay, yeah. No,
At
it's
least
not.
it exists.
No, it's not. It's not. In fact, especially in São Paulo, if we talk about the subway, for example, it's a reference. It's a world reference here in Brazil. We have something good about that, you know. I wouldn't say the best because I'm not that person, yeah, but maybe I can say that it
Useful, I
is.
think it's a good word.
Yeah, useful, and it works. It works, you know.
Yeah.
It's not.
Which
bad,
is shocking
it's
in
not
Brazil,
dangerous.
right?
Shocking.
That it works.
Yeah. Lots of people really don't work that well around here. Yeah, it's true. Especially if we talk about politics or something like that, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a topic, not a topic.
I think that holidays would be an interesting topic too.
Holidays, cool
Because
topic.
tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, and we didn't talk about that. We could use
Thanks, tomorrow.
yeah, we could use a moment from the class to talk about that, but now the class is over, so we didn't. Sorry, St.
What day
Patrick's.
is tomorrow?
St. Patrick's
Yeah.
Day. St. Patrick's Day.
Ah, St. Patrick's Day.
Let's
Yeah.
not here to
Yeah.
celebrate it.
Okay, let's do it. Take a look at how stupid I look with my bottle of water.
Oh, it's kind
Oh,
of
that's
good.
cool.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah.
You're the only person that liked that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of look. It's strange for me.
Yeah, everybody
What
called
is
me
it?
like
When I saw.
what?
Look at these, Isaac.
What the hell is it?
A
bottle?
The
The bottle of water.
yeah, it's a bottle of. Take a look. I'm gonna show you this. Take a look. There's water,
Oh.
and then
Did you know?
I think
But
it's
it's just such a weird design. Why?
Yeah.
There's a
because
reason.
like it would fit inside of your backpack nicely.
yeah, but
Yeah.
the trouble is it sweats and it gets wet. So if you put this if you put this with your books, it gets wet. So it won't help at all.
Seems
You know.
like that bottles when like the guy put an alcoholic drink inside of it, you know.
Somebody told me, but they are smaller, right? I am an
Yeah.
alcoholic with this
A
size,
flask.
right? Yeah.
Flask.
Yeah.
Well, let me get the Pix ticket. Tatiane, Heloíse, Túlio, Thiago e Isaac Alves Pereira. Vocês estão prontos para descobrir quem será o grande milionário da noite que ganhará o Pix ticket dessa noite? Tati, Elô, Tulhão e Thiago, preparem-se para votar aí. Os caras estavam dormindo ali. Ó, o Thiago tá pronto, ó. Peguei o meu aqui, deixa eu ver se o meu tá aqui. Peraí, já vê se tá aí, galera. O meu tá aqui. O meu tá aqui. O seu tá aí? Tá aqui. O seu tá aí?
Yeah.
Cara, tá todos os três aqui, então façam suas votações. Votem para descobrir quem será o mais novo milionário. Eu ia falar da cidade de Guariba, mas tem um Isaac ali, pra, né? Tipo, o resto da galera é tudo de Guariba, que coisa.
Oh, how nice.
Viu? Então, e aí, galera? Quem quiser que o 1 ganhe, Teacher Baby. 2, vote em mim, Teacher Do. 3, vote no Juan, Teacher Ruan. E aí? Por um Brasil melhor, vota em 2. Aqueles caras, tipo... Opa, votaram 2. 1. Ó, o Isaac querendo roubar, velho.
Mas Isaac é sensacional.
Vixe, ó. 2, 1, 2, 3. Por enquanto eu tô na frente. 2, 2, 1, 1, 3, 1, 3. Pitch, vote, but still. Quê? Ah,
It's a
tá.
pity vote.
Pity vote. Pity vote. Come on.
It's a
okay.
pity vote because you had your eyes
Yeah.
crossed for 3 days.
Oh, no. No, just because of my eyes.
You had two eyes and none of them were facing the right
Yeah.
direction.
Number
Okay.
2.
Just because of the story, okay? Just because of the story. How do they say when somebody has a deficiency? It's not injured.
It's a correct, so
No, it's
Oh.
they're handicapped. It's handicapped.
Handicap.
Yeah. I am handicapped today because of my story, right? So I was the winner. So review yours. Let me turn on the ring light here. Let's see. Who? Heloíse. Nossa, ia ficar milionária, Elo.
I'm so sorry.
Votou no errado. Ah, votou no certo. Ah, não, votou no errado. Tatiane. Olha, a Tati, cara. Ia ganhar uma grana também. Bom, mas... Então, isso significa que ou o Túlio ganhou, ou o Thiago, ou o Isaac. É um dos três.
Será?
Então... Ah, o Isaac tá assim, eu. Liguem as câmeras aí, rufem os tambores, porque agora descobriremos quem é o mais novo milionário do pedaço. Ai. Posso dizer já que o nome dele começa com T, então o Isaac não é, ou é o Thiago ou é o Túlio. Começa com um T, ai, ui. Ah, não, é só um dos da Tati, já saiu já. Olha aqui o que está escrito aqui. Tiago! Uma salva de palmas aí pro Tiago! Tiago, parabéns, amigo. Né? Tipo, cara, uma frustrada, assim, né? Tipo, que bosta, sempre ele que ganha. A primeira vez que o cara vem, né? Tipo, isso aqui, ó, marmelada, né? Bom, abram as câmeras aí, Tiago, Tatiane, Túlio, Heloíse. Vamos fazer a foto de conclusão de aula para todo mundo ficar lindo, maravilhoso. Ah, o peru é, gente! O
A
quê?
gente pode falar expressões em português e perguntar o que eles acham que é, tipo marmelada.
Verdade! Nossa, vai
E
ser
aí
uma
eles
aula
podem fazer a
legal!
mesma coisa pra
Emily Clinton, olha só, olha que aula
Good
legal.
idea.
I don't know if you guys got the idea clearly, but I'm going to translate just to check. We are going to say some really native Portuguese expressions, and you guys are going to guess what they mean. And after that, you guys are going to challenge us with really native expressions and what they mean, okay? For next class, bring them on, all right?
Take off a
Yeah.
little horse from the rain.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
We have to search.
Yeah,
We have to search
let's
first
search.
because
vai tirando o cavalinho da chuva, viu? Vai que nem what? Oi, Tatiane, oi, Luiz, oi, Thiago. E aí, cara, cadê a câmera ligada aí para sair na foto? Tem 4 on e 3 off aí, os caras deixou o negócio aqui, dormiu. Tá bom, não quer aparecer? Tá bom, vai ser só nós. Atenção, peraí. Deixa eu aparecer aqui com o VPFI Forever aqui no meio, né? Ô, Isaac, semana que vem você já põe a peita aí já, hein, cara? Já não chegou
você
ainda aí,
acredita?
né? Não chegou
Não
ainda.
chegou.
Droga, achei que hoje já ia ter chego já. Isaac também vai de VPFI Forever. Ah lá, a Tati aí, ó. Agora só falta o Thiago e a Heloísa. Quem falou que a câmera tá ruim? O Thiago, ó, o Miguel, ganhou o Pix e não quer ligar para mostrar a cara de milionário. Vai que alguém rastreia ele, né? É isso. Então, atenção, galera, ó. 3, 2... Ó, o Isaac perdendo o zoom ali, ó. Deixa eu ver se ficou boa. Peraí, não se movam ainda. Não se movam muito. Você tá sexy com esse bigodinho aí, hein, peru? Tá maluco, cara? Cuidado, o povo vai apaixonar. Deixa eu ver. Rapaz, vocês são muito beautiful. Galera, é isso. Deixo vocês com aquele kiss and see you next Wednesday, alright? Venham preparados para aprender milhares de expressões que a gente vai desafiar os gringos vai desafiar a gente e vai rolar esse rolê, beleza? Bye bye, my friends.
Alright.
Have a great night. Bye bye, dudes.
Bye bye.